cheesesteak mac and cheese. Let me show you how I do it. Last week was my little brother's birthday and he has been dying for me to make him a cheesesteak mac and cheese. So I went to the butcher shop today and let me tell you, that was the best decision I ever made. The butcher already had sirloins that were cut nice and thin, and then he even offered to slice them for me. It was fantastic. Some of those slices that he gave me, I chopped them into bite-sized pieces because this is going inside the mac and cheese. I'm gonna season them both the same, obviously. A little bit of adobo, salt, black pepper. It's fight night tonight, so if at some point you hear a lot of noise in the background, we got a bunch of family over, okay? A lot of Puerto Ricans in one house. Some garlic powder, onion powder, some paprika. And because this is going to mac and cheese, I'm gonna put a little bit of smoked paprika too. Since I'm gonna use this one sooner, I'm gonna just set it to the side and let it marinate. I'm not gonna use this one for a little while until the mac and cheese is done. So I'm gonna wrap this up and I'm gonna put it in the fridge and let it marinate until I'm ready to use it. We're gonna make the cheesesteak filling for our mac and cheese. I have one whole small green bell pepper and a half of a large yellow onion diced up really, really small. Now I want these to be nice and soft, almost so that they kind of melt into the mac and cheese, you know. I'm gonna sprinkle them with some salt and some black pepper. And I'm just gonna let this cook until they get nice and tender with the lid on. I threw about a tablespoon of butter in there. I'm gonna put 2 cubes of frozen crushed garlic. I'm gonna take my onions and peppers out of here. A little bit more avocado oil down. Now we're gonna cook our steak. I just put my onions and peppers and garlic in with the steak, and then we're taking this out and we're gonna start to make our cheese sauce. Half a stick of butter, scraping up all the flavor from the sides. I have here a 1/4 cup measure with the flour. I'm gonna start slowly because I don't want a really thick roux, okay? I'm gonna eyeball it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it all. Okay, maybe I'm gonna use it all. A little bit more flour. I like it to look like this. You see how it looks kind of like a paste? Did I mention I'm making 2 boxes of pasta? All of this is it's doubled because I'm making 2 boxes of pasta. I'm gonna put my heat down nice and low, and I'm gonna slowly pour in 2 cans of evaporated milk. This is a labor of love, y'all. I'm gonna do about 1 cup of milk and then 1 cup of heavy cream. I have it still on nice and low. Now we're gonna season this up with some salt. Just be mindful of the amount of salt that you use because we are putting a lot of salty cheeses in here, so a little bit of salt. Black pepper, onion powder, some garlic powder, smoked paprika. A little bit of regular paprika too. Let's give this a mix. I like my mac and cheese nice and cheesy, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and add probably the rest of this pint of heavy cream. I still have this on medium low and I'm constantly stirring because I don't want any lumps and clumps. See how it's steaming up? That's how you know it's nice and hot. We're gonna shut it off. We're gonna put in about 1/3 of this cheese. Yes, I put Velveeta in here. To me, it's necessary. If you're not down with the Velveeta, you could definitely leave it out if you want to. Just keep adding cheese till it makes your heart happy, that's all. Probably should have used a bigger pot. I never learned my lesson. Ooh. Before I put my cheese in there, I already tasted it for salt. Let's start to build our mac and cheese. I like to season my noodles. So I'm gonna put a little bit of black pepper. I'm not gonna put any salt on them because I boiled them in salted water, well, in the chicken bouillon. Some garlic powder, onion powder, and some paprika. 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna add about half of this container of sour cream. I keep lowballing it and forgetting that I'm making a lot of mac and cheese, so I'm just gonna put the whole container. If I had a big enough pot, I would just be mixing my cheese sauce right into this, but my pot is way too small for that. I'm not gonna do it, so I'm just gonna do it right in the tray. And you know me in dishes, I'm not taking out of the pot. I'm gonna use that little bit of butter that I have left, and I'm just gonna put it all the way around. Half of my macaroni going in, half of my cheese sauce going in. My delicious cheesesteak meat going in. Layer of cheese. I don't think I mentioned this. This is a mix of mild cheddar, Munster cheese, and mozzarella cheese. I use the mild cheddar because remember, I feel like this is a cheesesteak. It has to have that mild cheesy flavor. I am gonna put a few slices of Miss Velveeta. I'm rushing now because all the guys are about to come upstairs and disturb my peace and watch the fight up here. Now we're gonna pour the rest of this cheese sauce over everybody. Now it's time to top it with the rest of my cheese. I'm gonna put it on top of a tray to help support the bottom, of course. But before I do that, I'm gonna add a little bit of paprika on top because I like the color that it gives. My foil is all jacked up, so I gotta go steal foil from my mother. But we're gonna put some aluminum foil on this. Remember to spray your foil so that it doesn't stick to the cheese. I'm gonna take her to bake, and then we're gonna finish her in my mother's house. We're in my mother's kitchen. Spray this pan and throw my steak in. She's ready. Holy moly. Do you see that? I had to move my steak over to the opposite burner, but I'm gonna put my peppers and onions in there too so it can all cook together. It's getting late, or else I would have let my steak get a lot more color. I kid you not, it's like 10 o'clock at night. Everybody here is ravenous. You can take this and definitely top it with some more cheese and stick it back in the oven. I'm gonna take all those juices that are in there and pour that over the top. Just to give you a better look. I'm gonna do my best, y'all. This is absolutely ridiculous. I think I need 2 spoons. Look at the inside of that. Look at that. Let's get a little bit of everybody on here. I'm not even gonna front. This has to be one of the best mac and cheeses I've ever made. I kid you not. This is so fire, y'all. So unbelievably fire.